Damon L. Jacobs for We Love Soaps coming from the set of One Life to Live. Stay tuned. We have some fascinating interviews coming up. Check it out. All right, Nic Robuck, who plays James on One Life to Live. It's great to meet you.
It's great to meet you too.
Great to meet you. So tell me, we don't know very much about you. You're new to the show.
Yes.
Tell us about your previous roles and acting career and what brought you here to One Life.
Okay. Previously, I worked on a couple of guest starring roles on the Nickelodeon TV show iCarly.
Uh-huh.
I did a web series for Disney called My Date, so I was kind of in the Disney family already.
Okay.
And then I did some small work on The Young and the Restless as recurring. And then this was just the chance role that I booked, and it's changed my life ever since. So I'm really happy to be here.
Wow. So you had done some work on Young and the Restless before.
Yeah.
So you had been on a soap set. You knew how fast-paced it is.
Yes.
And
Got a great education.
Yeah. Was that ever daunting to you that they do so much work in such a short period of time?
Yeah, I don't think I realized in the grand scheme of things how much work actually went into it, because it's like a feature film every day, So when I got here, that really sunk in pretty well.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you were put right at the front and center of a pretty major story.
Yes.
With Kristen Alderson.
Yes.
Okay. So do you remember getting the scripts and seeing all this dialogue with Kristen? And what went through your mind?
Well, the first couple of days it wasn't so bad, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. And the second week, we had basically the whole 2 episodes to ourselves, and I got nervous. I panicked a little bit. We each had 60 pages of dialogue apiece each day for 2 days in a row.
Was it when he was kidnapping her?
When we were at the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Vicky's cabin. And but I got through it, and that was a big test, and from that point I knew I could do this, So
they sink or swim, and you swam.
Exactly. Yeah.
How did you get over that fear, that kind of like that panic of doing so much dialogue?
I mean, you kind of have to. I signed a 4-year contract, so I'm in, and I better do the work.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
Did Kristen have any tips or ideas about how to remember all that and make it happen in the scene?
She gave me some small tips as we were going along. Sometimes if, for some reason a line's just not coming to your head, it's easier to look away from the person and say something as opposed to look at them and struggle and try and think of it and things like that. So just little small tips that really helped me get through those first couple of weeks and get me around that tough corner.
Wow. Now, has acting always been in your blood? Have there been other things you've wanted to do in your life, or has this just been it?
A couple. When I was younger, I wanted to be a Disney animator. And then I was in 7th grade when the movie Titanic came out. Okay. So, I saw that with my family, and it had such a great impression on me, that film, and the performance. It was so large scale, I'd never seen anything like that, and Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio did such a fantastic job. It really struck a chord with me, and I said to myself, I want to make movies like that someday. So from that point forward, I wanted to be an actor.
Great. Do you ever think about, as you said, making movies, like producing movies, directing?
Not so much that side yet. Acting in movies like that, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and I have some actors in my family. My cousin Aaron is married to Robert Russler, who was a famed actor from the 80s. He was in some horror flicks and some TV shows and things like that. So, I've got it running in my family too.
Great. Yeah. Now, you started on One Life, and all of a sudden, James has this family all around him.
Yeah, it's incredible.
There's suddenly a backstory about growing up in a very abusive household.
Yes.
His brother Ford often protected him, while his father was not the easiest guy to live with.
Exactly.
So what is your understanding of James's role in this family? Like, how did he deal with being in a household and growing up in a household that was so not stable and not secure?
I think when he was in the tough situation, it was basically going through the motions. I don't think he really knew how to deal, and that's why finally he stole money from his dad and escaped, because it was a means to an end from all the bad things that happened in his life. He was abandoned from his mother, and he felt like Ford abandoned him, and he needed to be himself and start a whole new life in a different place. So I think that's how he dealt with having that kind of family.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you known anyone or had any experience with child abuse or people who have grown up in households where that took place?
I don't, but I think it's a great message to get across, is that you know, there's always a means to an end. There's always a way to escape, and you know, life does go on after that, and you know, you can be something and be who you want to be. So, for example, James is trying to furthering his education right now. So, it's great. Exactly.
What has this done to his ability to connect and have relationships with other people?
It's definitely affected it both negatively and positively because he doesn't ever want to be his father. So he knows not to ever treat other people that way. But also, he has a hard time opening up and showing his true self and how he really feels to Star, to his family, and things of that nature because of his childhood. So it's a great dynamic, this kind of push and pull that James has going on. But he seems to be the peacemaker of the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And now his mother has come back into his life.
Yes.
Inez, played by Jessica Lucia, is suddenly there.
Yes.
How's that been to work with her?
It's been fantastic. Jessica's amazing. She's got this very calm personality to her on set, which is helpful because being on set is kind of nerve-wracking anyway. Mm-hmm. And you know, she's a very endearing person, so I think that reads well in her character as well.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So now, Star is an interesting person in his life. You know, he as much as the peacemaker he did kidnap her.
That's true.
Kept her away from her kid
by accident,
right. But you know, he kept it going. And clearly there is some attraction between these two people.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
But she has this whole other world with this whole other person whom she has a child with.
Very true.
Brandon Buddy's character of Cole.
Yes.
Now, I can only imagine coming in between, or possibly coming in between a couple like this, you must have gotten some reaction from some viewers.
Yes. Yes.
What is it? What kind of reactions have you gotten so far?
You know, very mixed reactions. Some like it. They like to see old Star because apparently I bring that side out of her. I frustrate her and I get her excited and I put her in bad situations, which makes that tough, independent Star come out. But we've also got some people who don't care much for that. They really like to see Cole and Star together. They have such a great relationship and a great bond, and he's the father of her daughter, and then that whole thing. It's like separating a family, and they don't want to see that happen.
Mm-hmm. So some fans are really in favor of Star and James, but others are
exactly
see him as an obstacle. And that is really one of the great makings, the hallmarks of daytime TV, is when you can get a really good triangle, meaning that you could reasonably see Star with either one of these men.
Exactly.
And you're not even sure who you want her to be with. That's a great triangle. You can play that out for a long time.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
But I think James's eye has also been wandering lately.
It has. It's been wandering a bit. He asks Langston out, as we've all seen. Mm-hmm. But I'm not so sure that there are the strongest feelings for Langston as there are for Star in the situation. I think there's something a little more rooted in this that we're not seeing at the surface.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. After this whole experience of growing up in an abusive household, do you think it's going to be hard for James to trust intimacy and real, affection with another person?
I think that it could play a role in it. I definitely do. However, I think James is more of an open-minded, forgiving person. He kind of forgives what has happened in his past. And he forgives his mother for leaving and abandoning him. And I think that would cause James to have second thoughts. But because he's an accepting person and knows that situations are tough, that there is a possibility he could be accepting as well. So.
Wow, he's very level-headed.
Yeah,
very level-headed.
I would think so. He's got a lot of life experience.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you mentioned it's 4 years. So what in the long-term future? What do you see for yourself? I know it's kind of a hard question to imagine where you're going to be in 10 years, but where would you like to see yourself go in your career and on your path?
Okay.
You mentioned films.
Yeah, I would love to do film. I would love to do primetime, and I think that I'm funny, so I would love to do comedy, but I don't know if other people think so as well, so we'll have to see. Yeah, I would like to do it all.
Well, many of our current movie stars and TV stars got their start in the soaps.
Yes.
And, I think it's a wonderful, wonderful platform. I personally love it when people stay on shows for years and years and years. Yeah. But I also understand that we always have to try avenues and see what's out there.
Definitely. I love soaps. It was a big dream of mine to get onto a soap, and I think that it is such a great learning platform, like you said. You learn so much. I can memorize scripts in a day, and
now you get
yeah, exactly, right? And I think that sets me up for a beautiful future with other projects, you know, film or in primetime and things of that nature.
Oh, sure. I mean, and that's one of the things a lot of producers love about daytime actors now, is that especially in this day and age, when someone comes from a daytime soap, they know they're going to know where to hit their mark, know where the light is, say their line, deliver it, and they can sell it and then be done.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
That's a wonderful skill to have.
Yeah.
You said you've always loved soaps, though. Did you watch soaps growing up, or did anyone in your family watch soaps growing up?
I remember when I was a kid, my brother and I were 15 months apart. And he's older, and we were babysat by some friends of our family during the summer when our parents were at work. And she always watched her stories, is what she called them, her stories.
The stories.
Yes.
What were her stories?
To be quite honest, I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember. But I do remember watching them. I'm sure As the World Turns and Days of Our Lives, because I remember the Hourglass and all that stuff. I remember seeing, but I remember being very young and getting hooked. You know, I couldn't wait to find out what happened in the story the next day and things like that.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Me too.
So yeah, I watched them when I was younger. Yeah, it was great, and just knowing that I could learn so much from it was the dream part for me. You know, getting the job and being able to act and learn so much.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So tell us one thing that the viewers of One Life to Live don't know yet about you.
About
Tell us one thing about Nick that we do not know yet.
Let's see. I went to Catholic private schools for 14 years, and I had to wear a tie.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it must be nice to be able to come to work with that.
Yeah. With the wardrobe I put on is stuff I would wear in real life, so that's good.
Okay. Do you still have those outfits?
I don't. I think I burned them. No, I trashed them or something. Donated them. Something positive.
Did you ever get hit with a ruler?
No, but I had nuns as teachers sometimes and as a principal at one point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You heard it here first at We Love Soaps TV. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Nick, it's so awesome to meet you and speak
nice
with you. I really like the work you're doing.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I know it's a challenge.
It is.
You rock.
It's a good challenge. I really appreciate it. Thank you.